Look who's beefing now, the NBA's very own drama club. It's like a soap opera, but with taller actors and more muscles. Spats between teammates are as common as a Starbucks on every corner. But sometimes, things go way beyond a mere catfight and into the realm of assault. That's like going from a game of chess to a street brawl. No one signed up for that. Get ready for an experience that will make your heart race faster than a caffeine-fueled cheetah on a treadmill. You are watching craziest NBA teammate fights, and beefs with guns, love triangles, and MJ's punches. Let me paint you a picture of a most recent scuffle. Draymond Green versus Jordan Poole. Picture this, two titans, one with a big contract and the other with a big mouth, going at it like two roosters in a cockfight. But instead of feathers, they're throwing fists. Green was trying to land a punch and rush move like he was in the UFC, but Poole was not having any of it. It was like watching a lousy dance-off, but with less rhythm and more bruises. Golden State tried to brush it off like a dusty old rug, but then someone went ahead and sold the video to TMZ. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. It's like covering up a wildfire with a single water bottle. And now, the rumor mill is churning that the punch still haunts the players like a dark cloud over their heads that won't go away. And also, it's like trying to serve a steak that's been left out in the sun for way too long. It's not appealing to anyone. But if you think that was bad, wait until you hear the next on our list. You don't want to miss this. Imagine the Jailblazers were at it again, and this time, it was Zach Rudolph and Patterson who took the term physical dust-offs to a whole new level. Patterson, who dubbed himself the Kobe Stopper, was already a few nuts short of a granola bar, but things escalated quickly when he and Quintel Woods tangled during a scrimmage. Enter a young Zebo, a behemoth of a man at 6'9" and 240 pounds, who came charging to his buddy's defense and sucker punched Patterson. The sound of his fists hitting Patterson's face was so loud that it made a thunderstorm jealous. Rudolph's hands fractured Patterson's eye socket, and chaos ensued. The two had to be separated, and Rudolph had an "oh crap, what have I done" moment. He hid at teammate Dale Davis's place for days, afraid of Patterson's retaliation, and who could blame him? That guy was as unpredictable as a cat on a hot tin roof. After the dust settled, Portland fined Rudolph $100,000, and he apologized to Patterson. Some say Patterson never quite got over it, but the two managed to coexist, barely, until the front office traded him to the Nuggets. Can you imagine the tension that was in that locker room? It was like a volcano waiting to erupt. Let's just say it's crazier than a cat trying to catch its own tail. And speaking of crazy, let me introduce you to Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr. Now, MJ is not just a basketball player, he's a living legend with the ego the size of China. And he doesn't like anyone talking back to him. But Steve Kerr did just that, and Jordan ended up giving him a face full of fists. The scuffle went down during a training camp scrimmage when Kerr took offense to something Jordan said, and he let him know it. As Kerr put it, "I disagreed with him one time." Then he continued, "I think he punched me in the face." Ouch! But hey, sometimes tough love is necessary, right? And for Kerr, it worked wonders. He earned Jordan's respect, and they've had a great relationship ever since. It's like they say, tough love never killed anyone, except for Steve Kerr's jawline. You might argue that MJ was being an a-hole for hitting Kerr just because of a minor disagreement. Well, even if everyone treated him like a god of basketball, why would he hit someone just because he didn't share the same opinion? But hey, you can't argue with the results. Jordan trusted Kerr so much that he passed him the ball with the game and possibly the championship on the line in Game 6 of the 1997 NBA Finals. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is, or in this case, putting the ball where your trust is. Next on our list is, this thing is so crazy. It makes a roller coaster ride with a broken safety harness seem like a walk in the park. Let us tell you about one of the most bizarre love triangles to ever happen in the NBA. It involved Matt Barnes, Derek Fisher, and Barnes' ex-wife, Gloria Govan. In 2015, Barnes and Govan were in the middle of a divorce, but apparently he did not take kindly to the news that his soon-to-be ex-wife was seeing his former teammate, Derek Fisher. Contrary to the swirling rumors, Barnes did not actually drive 95 miles from Memphis just to beat Fisher up. He was in Santa Barbara, which was 15 minutes away, when he FaceTimes his his kids and noticed that they were uncomfortable. Barnes decided to check out what was happening, and he found Fisher at his house with his ex-wife. Barnes said he was cool when Fisher started dating Govan, but what ticked him off was that Fisher didn't tell them that he was in Barnes' house around the kids. Talk about a sticky situation. Thankfully, the former teammates have buried the hatchet, and Derek and Gloria are now blissfully married. This shows that the sun always shines after the rain, and that peace is the only battle worth waging. Well, maybe except for Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton. If you thought that Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher's love triangle was strange, the last beef on our list will change your mind. Introducing the Old West style story of Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton. Ron Artest admitted to drinking Hennessy during his tenure with the Bulls, and still nothing beats taking guns to the locker room so you can shoot each other Old West style. For accuracy's sake, let's take the word of Karen Butler over anything that Gil or Javaris had to say. Butler detailed this run-in in his book Tough Juice, My Journey from the Streets to the NBA. According to Butler, the incident started because of a card game. Javaris felt Gil owed him the $1,100 bet money, which Arenas took. The resulting exchange was straight out of a Guy Ritchie movie. Gilbert said, "I'll see your expletive at practice, and you know what I do." "What the expletive do you mean?" "You know what I do," replied Javaris. "I play with guns." "Well, I play with guns too." These two players were more stubborn than a mule with a PhD. They were determined to stick to their guns, even if it meant continuing their argument like a couple of toddlers fighting over a toy. And things got even more heated when in practice 2 days later, they brought actual ammunition to the practice. It was like they were preparing for the real-life game of Call of Duty. "Hey, MF, come pick one," Gilbert told Javaris while pointing to the weapon like a badass. "I'm gonna shoot your expletive over one of these." "Oh no, you don't need to shoot me with one of those," said Javaris, turning around slowly like a gunslinger in the Old West. "I've got one right here." Well, it sounds like things got pretty heated between Arenas and Butler. In fact, it was like watching two cowboys in the Wild West showdown, each with their own six-shooter at the ready. Arenas pulled out his loaded gun like a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and he had it cocked and pointed at Butler faster than you can say draw. And even though Butler had a different version of events, the fact that both of them had guns just proves that this beef was hotter than 12 noon on a summer day. At the end of the day, the only thing that should be flying through the air at a basketball practice is a three-pointer, not bullets. And bringing bullets to a basketball practice is like bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's just not a good idea. Do you know what's almost as entertaining as watching a great basketball game? Witnessing some drama between teammates. Yes, you heard me right. The NBA teammate fights and beefs are not only entertaining, but also a great reminder that these athletes are humans too, with emotions and personalities. So, we challenge you to share your favorite NBA teammate fights and beefs in the comments section below. Let's get the conversation going and see who has the juiciest story to tell. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll even learn a thing or two about how not to handle conflicts with our own teammates in our daily lives. So come on, don't be shy. Let's share some laughs and spice things up. This is Heroes of the Courtside, your stop for the NBA's most obscure yet fascinating stories. Thank you for watching.